Now on 767 News, Dominica and FAO in the fight against citrus greening. Almost 40% of citrus production lost. Electoral Commission announces final results of election 2014, putting all controversies to rest. And Ilyas Nassif Foundation increases contributions to early childhood education as part of its annual Christmas donations. In sports, DFA's football action commences following independence and election break. Welcome to 767 News. I'm Alicia George. Please stay with us for the latest developments coming up right after the break.
This is the new DL750, made to fit your lifestyle, whatever shape it takes. The new KitKat OS means it's faster and easier to enjoy the apps you love, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. With colored covers you can change to match your lifestyle. A 5-megapixel camera with an amazing flash to capture the moments that matter wherever you are. The new DL750, lighter, smarter, brighter. Digicel.
Can you afford to lose everything? In times of uncertainty, ensure you have the security of Quartz Payment Protection. When you shop with Quartz Ready Finance Gold or Ultimate Plan, if you lose your job after 6 months of making payments, our redundancy coverage ensures that the payment on your account continues for up to 12 months. Don't risk losing everything. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get the payment protection plan that protects you against redundancy, disability, death, and loss of item due to natural disaster, fire, flood, or theft. Quartz Ready Finance with payment protection. Quartz, bringing value home.
This holiday season, let Digicel help you find the best selection of 4G smartphones and tablets, like the Samsung Galaxy S5, the Digicel DL800, and the Blue Life Play. So visit your nearest Digicel store today to find the perfect gift and get a chance at winning loads of great weekly prizes with your purchase, plus the grand prize of up to $20,000 cash. Digicel.
Astapans has mackerel fish in a variety of flavors and very low prices. Golden Prize mackerel in water, tomato sauce, or vegetable sauce is priced lower than other brands. Add Golden Prize mackerel to rice or provision and enjoy a tasty full meal for the whole family. Add your favorite vegetables and meals will get even more delicious. Great price, delicious food in a variety of flavors with Golden Prize mackerel. Astapans, right place, right price.
Welcome back. First up this news time, the Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, have just concluded a 2-day workshop on citrus greening, a disease which has been affecting Dominica since May of 2012. Citrus greening is one of the most serious citrus plant diseases in the world. It is also known as Huang Long Bing, HLB, or yellow dragon disease. Once a tree is infected, there is no cure. 2 groups of experts who have dealt hands-on with the issue of citrus greening were directly involved in the workshop, providing useful information of their experiences and combating the disease.
We would like each one of you, the countries, to have at least a draft action plan that you can then go back and work with your supervisors and so on to get implemented going forward. We had an opportunity under this project to get some work done, but countries did not pick up on, and I feel sad about that in a sense. We had the opportunity, we missed it, but at the same time we are trying to now see how best we can still assist you before the project ends by bringing you here to share the experiences of those who have dealt with the problem.
Assessments have been carried out in 5 countries in the region under this project, Lopez says. Currently, Jamaica, Belize, Barbados, St. Vincent and Dominica have shown presence of citrus greening. We
have carried out assessments in 3 countries, additional countries which would be Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis and the Bahamas, but we need to get the results. We know it's present. The expert was able to go in and do the assessment and more or less confirmed. But for us to say yes, it is present, we have to get the test done in an accredited lab, and that has not yet been done.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Gist, pointed out the importance of the citrus sector to Dominica. He said that between 2009 to 2013, foreign exchange earnings for citrus was valued at $17 million. However, Gist admitted that over the last decade, an estimated 25 to 40% of citrus capacity has severely declined.
Most of this decline can be attributed to the deleterious effects of the Tristezia virus, a virus believed to be present before 1998, but confirmed by serological tests in 2003. And the other culprit is HLB in 2012. This disease has caused severe hardship to citrus farmers as they have watched helplessly at their dying citrus trees with no means of being able to save their crop and to sustain their livelihoods.
Gist said the ministry will continue its efforts to combat citrus diseases, stating that from 2007 to 2013, the government has invested $15 million in the citrus certification program and the rehabilitation of citrus crops. Banana, coconut, and citrus were once the three main export crops in Dominica. And in related news, farmers are being asked to be very vigilant with the spread of the citrus greening disease presently dominating local crops today. Silvio Lopez, researcher for Fund Citrus in Brazil, said combating the disease means that affected plants have to be removed, which is not always the easiest thing to do since production and time is lost. Lopez, who attended a two-day workshop on citrus greening, pointed out the importance of farmers working together to combat the disease.
The grower needs to learn one thing, which is very, very important. Alone, he will not be able to control this disease. He needs to work together. He needs to review his feeling with his neighbor and start working together, because the insect that will disseminate the cause of the disease, which is a bacterium, will not respect any fence. So they need to work together to control what will disseminate the disease and also the source of inoculum. So if they work together in a large area, then everything will be easier for everybody.
Lopez says in his country they have learned how to control the disease and have been able to meet the very same export demand despite the spread of citrus greening.
We still are producing the same amount of fruit as before 2004, but at the same time we lost many 40 million trees so far. We learned a lot with research, doing research, and also with the experience of the grower. Now we know we can control this disease. It's not easy, but we can. And the main message is, if the country, any country, really wants to control the disease, they can do that. But it's not easy.
A national action plan has been adopted in Dominica, where rapid response mechanisms were implemented by the Division of Agriculture to respond to the citrus greening disease. The integrated pest management mechanism involves the elimination of infested trees and the release of natural enemies to manage the Asian citrus psyllid, the vector affecting the citrus plants. And in other news, the Electoral Commission says the Dominica Labour Party's 15-seat general election victory is final. This was communicated through a press release dated December 10th following the final count for the House of Assembly, which took place on December 9th for all 21 constituencies. According to the release, the injunctions that were issued to the respective returning officers for each constituency was delivered to His Excellency the President Charles Savary on December 10th in accordance with Section 44(4), the House of Assembly Elections Act. At the end of the recount, the final result remained at 15 seats going to the Dominica Labour Party, while 6 seats went to the United Workers' Party. The UWP won the constituencies of Roseau South, Roseau Central, Wesley, Roseau North, Marigot, and Salisbury, while the DLP won the remaining 15 seats. UWP candidates Joshua Francis, Lennox Linton, Ezekiel Bazil, Joseph Isaac, Hector John, and Danny Lugue will all be members of parliament as they won their respective constituencies. However, there is some controversy between UWP candidate Dr. Thomason Fontaine and Dominica Labour Party candidate Ivor Stevenson for the Mont John seat. All indications suggest that Dr. Fontaine will be taking the matter to court after he said that the vote count was unfair. Meanwhile, Stevenson says he won fair and square and has asked the UWP candidate to move on and accept defeat. The cabinet ministers will be sworn into office in an official ceremony on Saturday at the Winter Park Sports Stadium from 5 p.m. And Adam Blackwell, head of the Organization of American States, OAS election mission, who visited Dominica during the 2014 general elections, has called for a greater level of women participation in politics. Blackwell said despite the strong participation of women in the administrative and electoral processes in politics, strides should be made to boost participation on a higher level.
The OAS Electoral Observation Mission recognizes the historic role that women play in Dominica, becoming the first country in the Americas to have an elected female head of government. Despite the strong participation of women in the organization and administration of the electoral processes, it is important to note that only 6 of the 44 candidates running in this election were women.
According to Blackwell, the preliminary results indicate that in one of the 21 seats of the House of Assembly, women will hold only 3. The mission therefore recommended that political parties introduce training aimed at enhancing leadership roles for women in the political process. On Tuesday, the mission, who were invited by Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit in preparation for the 2014 general elections, gave several other recommendations to ensure free and fair elections moving forward. Blackwell stressed on the importance of developing and implementing these recommendations so that they do not become a distraction for the issue-based campaigns. A more detailed verbal report on the observation of the OAS election mission will be presented to the Organization of American States Permanent Council in Washington, D.C. That information will later be available to stakeholders in Dominica at www.oas.org. The Elias Nassif Foundation donates $70,000 to institutions across Dominica. More details when we return.
Say goodbye to those miserable diets that leave you hungry and depressed and replace them with Tosh Snacks. Tosh Snacks are low in calories, have less fat, less sugar, and are packed with nutrition. So you always have lots of energy to walk or exercise and remove all those extra calories. Your diet will love the light honey crackers, sesame seeds, chocolate or vanilla wafers, fruit and grain, oats, fruit or granola cookies, oats with chocolate bits, and brand new cracker cereal fusion. No hungry, miserable, or depressed feelings with Tosh Snacks. Astafans, right place, right price.
Christmas is the time of year that you do whatever it takes to make everything just right. When everything is in place, the magic happens. So let us help make this a memorable Christmas for you and your family. With a chance at winning your share in over $50,000 in cash and prizes. Simply top up $15 or more, pay your bill in full, sign up for a data plan, or join the Digicel family. Come together and make Christmas extraordinary. Digicel.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Hi everyone, have you heard the good news on Digicel Play? Your channel lineup is getting upgraded. That's right, upgraded. We are pleased to announce the launch of HBO to our channel lineup. The name HBO says it all. Blockbuster movies, award-winning original series, 24 hours non-stop programming, all at no additional fee this Christmas, and so much more. Now, to get your new HBO channel lineup on Digicel Play TV, you need to rescan your set-top box, and this is how you do it.
On your remote control, you press Menu, select OK, then okay, and okay one more time. And wait, once the action is completed, the picture will appear.
Look out for more exciting channels coming soon on Digicel Play.
Thanks for staying tuned. In celebration of 19 years of existence, the Elias Nassif Foundation donated $70,000 to various institutions and organizations across Dominica. Each year, the foundation, established in 1995 by the children of late Elias and Marie Nassif, makes an annual Christmas donation to institutions who care for the very young, the elderly, and the sick in Dominica. This year, 35 benefited from the foundation, including daycares, preschools, and elderly care centers. Philip Nassif, chairman of Elias Nassif Foundation, said since its inception, the foundation has donated over $1 million.
This year, the foundation will donate a total of $70,000. Since its inception, approximately $1,200,000 has been donated from the foundation. The foundation will continue to make annual contributions to various institutions and organizations in appreciation of the caring and dedicated services which you and your staff provide for the young, the elderly, and the sick.
Nassif said over the years, the foundation has placed increased focus on preschools and early childhood education, donating a total of $9,000 to the daycare centers and $16,500 to the preschools this year. In addition, the foundation gave $12,500 to elderly care centers and $14,500 to retired employees. Meanwhile, Dr. Valda Henry, Chief Executive Officer of VF Inc. and featured speaker at the donation ceremony, said more emphasis should be placed on the elderly.
While yes, older persons, there is a greater tendency for ill health and so on, I see quite a bit of older persons in this room, including at the head table. But I don't see persons who are ready to just go in a daycare center for the rest of the day to just interact with old persons. I don't see persons who are in need on a daily basis of medical care and so forth who cannot contribute anymore to society. We need to ensure we provide the opportunities for the older persons to continue to maintain their own rights and their dignity in society.
Dr. Henry proposed increased involvement from every Dominican, particularly the business community and family members of the elderly. And in other stories, more hucksters are needed on island to meet the demands of regional markets for agricultural produce. President of the Dominica Hucksters Association, Cecil Joseph, in an interview with 767 News, said hucksters play a vital role in the exportation of agricultural produce.
A number of hucksters probably haven't quite realized that level of importance that they are to the trade, and so a number of them are slow to improve. But I am also pleased to note that there are some of them who are responding, and so in a situation where we tend to see a lot of what is not very good. I'm glad that there are a number of hucksters in Roseau and Portsmouth whose quality is very, very good, and they have made significant efforts to improve their packaging, to improve their presentation of their commodity, and that is indeed very encouraging.
He said at the peak of the now collapsed banana industry, Dominica had over 400 hucksters. However, that number has dwindled to just over 100. Joseph said with the demand increasing for various agricultural produce in the region and older hucksters retiring from the trade, new hucksters are needed.
To become a huckster, firstly, one, there's an application form. Then there's a training program. Currently, the training program lasts for 1 day. It's a very short training program currently. But when the fresh produce export legislation comes into effect, the training would have to be done almost over 3 days. But currently, it's a 1 day, it's an orientation program in which we introduce people to some of the basics that are in the trade. After this, we encourage them to work with another person who is familiar with the trade.
The Hucksters Association president noted that while training is necessary, it is important that the rookies develop their own contacts, as this will prove to be beneficial to their career. He said if after receiving training with an established huckster, the rookie is interested in continuing, he or she can visit the association for assistance in writing a business proposal for funding. Joseph explained that past experiences has shown that some individuals want to engage in full-scale businesses before learning the basics, which is bad for business.
There is a need for more, and as the volume of produce increases, there will certainly be much more need. For example, we only have about one person who is currently exporting to UK. If volume of produce increases, I'm sure there is a need for more than one person who can do it there. We can export there. We have a number of elderly people who are doing Guadeloupe and Martinique, and very soon when they leave, I would like to see them replaced rather than a void is created. So we are doing something in St. Martin in terms of setting up a huckster trading company. And a number of the members in that company have indicated that by the time things get off the ground, they may not be, they would like to give it up because of their present age. So there is always a need.
Joseph added it is very important that the youth see this trade as rewarding, as if engaged in properly, it creates a promising career. And in more stories, motorists are being called upon to exercise more caution on the road in an effort to prevent accidents or death. This positive message came from Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wicks following a fatal accident on Sunday which claimed the life of Priscilla Robinson of Pottersville, and a rollover accident in Fond Mel that same day which injured 19 individuals.
But we continue to appeal to drivers, as we've always done, to be very cautious when maneuvering, when driving along the roads, and that's whether it's dry or whether it's wet. The point is we have to be extremely careful when driving along the roads, even when we are leading, when we have a lot of people on the vehicles, and that is irrespective of whether we have many people or not. The point is we've got to be very careful on the roads.
ASP Wicks said drivers, whether local or foreign, need to be aware of road signs and other motorists which aid in the prevention of accidents. He stated motorists need to use the road effectively, keeping in mind that the road networks are better than they once were. And a night landing at the Douglas Charles Airport has been hailed as a major contributor to Dominica's tourism industry. That's according to Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, Benmar Badwill, in an interview with 767 News.
I would say the night landing has become a savior for Dominica, in a sense that, as you would have known, almost 40,000 people in the previous year utilized the airport and come in at nights. We had the fear prior to night landing that when the sun was going to set, people were trapped in other airports, could not get in. Now we know that even with some of the difficulties and the challenges that some of the airlines utilizing the region have, they can still come here past sunset. And we have had flights coming in 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So it does go to show that night landing has become a major feature for us.
He said the advent of night landing has assisted the island's tourism and the inter-island connectivity. Badwill noted without night landing, the airline companies would be restricted to planning trips to Dominica during the day.
And one of the things that people are not aware of is that we've had emergency situations where we've had to do medical airlifts in the late hours of the night. And those things happen because we have the night landing service. We would not have been able to accomplish those things where we have medical ambulances coming in, taking people either from the Ross University or other persons who may be sick and require urgent medical attention out of the state in the middle of the night when probably everybody is asleep. Those persons are taken out of the country to seek medical assistance.
The CEO of DASPA added night landing has significantly increased air access to the island. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports news is coming up next with Larry, so stay tuned.
Not long ago I planted a crop of bananas, then suddenly they started dying one after the other. So I checked the books and they didn't tell me much. So I went on the internet and did a search. One of the websites told me that black cigarette disease could be the problem. It said cut the affected trees and use spraying methods periodically on the farm. As a banana farmer, I got excited about the internet. Information is powerful, but it's how we use it that defines us. I was definitely saved by broadband.
Sign up for Digicel Play Superfast Broadband Internet Service. Digicel Play wishes to advise all customers of ongoing upgrade works on our network across Dominica. We are aware that some customers may be experiencing interruptions in their service. Please be informed that the ongoing works will be carried out over the next few months as we upgrade to the next generation of broadband technology. As such, we apologize for any inconvenience caused. Our technical team will attempt to reduce any outages to a minimum. We thank you, our customers, for your patience and look forward to launching new products to Dominica over the coming months.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with football. We go to Public Relations Office of the Dominica Football Association, Gerald George.
After a break for the independence celebrations and the elections campaign, the DFA Lime Premier League will resume with 2 matches in the second round this weekend. On Sunday, league leaders Exodus Football Club will take on bottom place team Maho Soca Strikers at the Dubla playing field, while at the Benjamin Park in Portsmouth it will be defending champions Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers versus Icons Football Club. Both matches begin at 3 p.m. Meanwhile, 5 matches are scheduled in the DFA Domlec Women's League. On Sunday, West Coast Jaguars will come up against Bournemouth Starlights at 3 p.m. at the Teaser Grounds in Maho, while in a doubleheader at the Baffert State playing field, New Generation Sports Club will take on Maho Soca Strikers at 4 p.m. to be followed by defending champions New India Googling Runners versus Dive Dominica Harlem United at 6 p.m.
In more football, defending champions Ian Pinat Boca Juniors will be in the spotlight twice this week as action continues in the Carib Sand and Stone Point Michel Football League. On Thursday, the team was scheduled to take on Alan Toussaint veterans in search of their 4th straight victory. On Friday, Ian Pinat's Soufriere Spartans, beaming with confidence from a victory last week, will go head-to-head with Wilness Astafans Bellevue Chauffeur Young Gunners at 7 p.m. On Sunday, defending champions Ian Pinat Boca Juniors will go up against Jays Limited First Wolf Security Ghetto Youth at 6 p.m. In cricket, fast bowler Ravi Rampal has been left out of the West Indies 30-man provisional squad for the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Rampal played 2 ODIs during the 2014-2015 Tour of India in October before the series was cancelled because of a dispute between the West Indies players, the WICB and WIPA. The squad includes 6 uncapped players, namely left-arm swimmer Kenroy Peters, leg spinner Imran Khan, off-spinner Ashton Nurse, 19-year-old fast bowler Makwino Mindley, left-hand opener Evan Lewis, and all-rounder Jonathan Carter. In more cricket, a South African judge on Tuesday delayed a ruling on whether to allow the prosecution to appeal against Oscar Pistorius' 5-year prison sentence for killing his girlfriend, saying she needed more time. After listening to arguments from the prosecution and the defense, Judge Fokozil Masipa adjourned the hearing until Wednesday. Prosecutors described the 5-year jail term for manslaughter imposed on the Paralympic star in October as shockingly inappropriate as they sought to open the door to a tougher sentence. The double amputee athlete, who is serving his prison sentence in a Pretoria prison over the killing of River Steenkamp on Valentine's Day in 2013, was not in court on Tuesday. And that's it for tonight's sportscast. Join me again tomorrow for more sports news.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. And now for a recap of the headlines. Dominica and FAO in the fight against citrus greening, almost 40% of citrus production lost. Electoral Commission announces final results of election 2014, putting all controversies to rest. And Elias Nasser Foundation increases contributions to early childhood education as part of its annual Christmas donation. In sports, DFA's football action commences following independence and election break. That's all the time we have for now. Drop us an email at media@767news.dm. Friend us on Facebook and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening and thanks for watching.
Boom, Miss and it's my time to get on bad when I jam in at everybody. Come celebrate with me, but if you don't know me yet, don't worry, man, we go take a jam in a party. Yeah, put one hand in the air. 767 News.